Our keynote speaker has over 20 years of offering business solutions for micro, small, and medium enterprises, and a wide spectrum of consultancy services on youth entrepreneurship, personal career development, personal financial literacy, corporate governance, corporate turnaround, and general business management in Uganda and the rest of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker is the founding executive director of Enterprise Uganda, the country's premier enterprise and business management institution. He is the 2009 award winner of the British Most Influential Alumni. Pause a bit. Do the thing, eh? His flowers. He is the first president and founding chairman of Enterprise Africa, a 14-member umbrella body of UN-founded enterprise development institutions in Africa. And the last one, he offered to be my mentor moving forward. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Ocici Charles. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I was glad I came on time to listen to the panelists that were here. Outstanding individuals in their spaces of influence. Judith, well done. Where's Moses? Has he stepped out? Moses, well done. Where's Ronald? There you are, then Dawn. Outstanding. I don't know how, Vivian, you located them, and they said yes. That was extremely good. However, I felt bad when I saw some chairs not carrying a pair of buttocks each, because that would have been my most fulfilling moment. There are people who should have been seated there. They are not there. I just asked her very briefly, I said, I hope Centenary Bank. Centenary Bank, thank you for coming and thank you for giving her a helping hand. If there be any social responsibility budget that you have, those are the kind of people you should be picking and giving a chance to influence the country. Listening to what came up this evening, I almost wanted to say, why don't I leave out my notes and just have a few comments here? And I thought I should actually do that. One of the first comments I want to say about financial literacy is that if you are here and you're a salaried person and you have only one account as an adult, and you get only one entry in that bank account in 30 days, you're in trouble. Deep trouble, no matter how financially literate you think you are. That account, a bank account, an adult who earned a salary, should begin to give birth to other bank accounts. You still have one. And the only one you have has got one constant figure. 2 million per month, 2 million per month, 2 million per month. And it comes on the 28th every month, 28th of every month. You are in trouble. And a big trouble. Those resources should have been giving birth to other resources. They are being cleaned and destroyed by you. Some of you here are Christian. You read the story of the talents. Somebody had one resource. Somebody had 2. Somebody had 5. It is said, the one who had 5 immediately multiplied. He had somewhere to go and sleep. He could have used some of those resources. He needed shoes, he could have used some of those resources. But he immediately went and multiplied. Then in the multiplication, he could allocate money for his what? Upkeep and other enjoyments. The money you received, can you account for it? If you didn't put some of it to give birth to more money, you are living on a borrowed time here. You should not be here. You shouldn't be around. And those are not my words, because it is somebody who wrote in a certain book, a book we cannot have a chance to have second edition or third edition. In that book it said, I went around a garden of a lazy, stupid man. Those are the words used. Proverbs 24 from 30 to the end. I went around a garden of a lazy, stupid man, and I found it overgrown with weeds and thorns. And he goes and says, when I looked at this picture, this is what I saw. He said, stupidity, laziness, oversleeping, and waking up while folding your hands. What do I give you? Poverty that will attack you like an armed robber. That's how the verse ends. You've earned a salary for 2 years. It has never given birth. 2 years, it has never changed. I have expenses. I have rent. Do you know that tomorrow when that job ends, you will still sleep somewhere? Except you will shift from where you are staying now to an appropriate place. Without anybody pushing you, you will shift. Do you know that the feeding you think is expensive, you'll begin to think about nutrients as opposed to the type of food? What do I mean here? There's a nutrient called protein. You can get it from beef, you can get it from fish, but you can also get it from beans. So you'll argue and say, I know the fish is in the other corner. Where are the beans in Nakasero market? Where are they? Where are the beans? The beans are a quarter of the price of the fish. I'm giving you practical aspects of being financially intelligent and natural. And I liked when you kept saying, be authentic. Be yourself. There will never be another Dawn. God is such a miraculous masterpiece creator. He never repeats a person. So just that statement tells you something. May I even confirm about what I've just said? Some 3 months ago, an announcement came from White House in the United States. And people thought it was not going to work. He said, close all the donor routes of USAID. Out completely. Do you know that those Ugandans were putting their children in international schools? Do you know they were staying in particular parts of the city? Do you know that they were driving certain types of cars? They have downgraded instantly. Take the child now to where you belong. You were riding on a salary that you never used to expand. You made a mistake. You thought it's a given. I work with USAID and I am super. There was no error about you. There was nothing bad about you, but the source of the money has just been stopped. Live your life. The kids that had never known a school with 100% Ugandan population are now entering that school, and the kids are going to fit in there. My message is this. Any resource you get, whether it's a donation, whether it's a salary, whether it's from a customer, if it's a donation, that means there's nobody else you are going to pay. Channel no less than 50% of it to plant a seed to make yourself begin to have your own resources. If it's a resource that has come from a profit, can you make sure that at least in that profit, put back 50% in. From today, we are removing fish in our menu. From today, we are going to be buying, instead of 3 liters of milk a day, we will buy half a liter. It will work. That moment will come. Financial discipline, if you don't take charge of the game now, it's a matter of time. And it's more painful for you to be pushed by the forces of the market to do it, because those forces act instantly. You used to have a 4-wheel drive. You had a USAID job. It needed fuel per week, 300,000. Instantly, you can't afford 300,000 a month. Instantly, it is not overtime. Instantly, you feel like, why didn't they give me a bit of room to adjust? Say, please, we paid you a salary. Where did you put it? Did you know that there were many Ugandans with not a salary like that, and they have built their own homes? They have run their own enterprises. Your salary was 4 times. Are you earning a salary? Do you have only one account? Is that account having only one entry? And after the one entry in 30 days, the next few days, the account is active, but on one direction, debits, until it is 0. Then the money is quiet again for another 3 weeks, until the next payment comes. Reform is my message. USAID is very fresh, but some of you may not be just aware of the USAID thing, because those fellows were living in Kololo, Naguru, they could not even interact with you. But some of you have met members of parliament. Those who lost in 2021, check their lifestyle, check where they are now. More miserable than they were before they came to parliament in 2021. You were in parliament for 5 years, for 10 years. You lost 6 months down the line. You can't see the same picture. It's done. It's done. If there be people who get a salary that you can call enviable salary, and that's why they're spending 600 million to try and get to that house, those fellows hardly get sleep. May I say this? If your finances are not adding up to the extent that you cannot meet the basics of the day-to-day lifestyle you are retaining, you are not a useful citizen. And I want to confirm that by putting one more statement here, and bear with me as I read it out. Where is it? I don't know where I put it, but I have it in my head. It goes like this. That the weakest defense of your integrity is poverty. Poverty is the weakest defense of your integrity, the weakest link. You think you have integrity. Wait until you are unable to meet the basics of life, and you begin to compromise this, compromise this, compromise this, compromise this. A new person has emerged. Why? Money has disappeared from the pocket. Why? The child is still retaining the other old lifestyle, but the money has stopped coming. Integrity is gone. A continent that has got values that are so easily manipulated is a continent that reflects a lot of poverty. I just came back from Calgary about 4 weeks ago. I stayed in an apartment, and where in that apartment, occupants could easily be more than 100. It was a big apartment. You go to the apartment through a lift. Now what happens? An apartment owner has made an order for electronic item, for some food, for whatever you want to get. You just give your address. The supplier of the solution will bring that item and put it on a table which is next to the lift, but properly labeled for so-and-so apartment number this. And they leave it there. Nobody picks an item from there when it's not yours. Do that in Africa. Ooh. Every day somebody will be visiting that table to check what has been delivered and left there. The level of your integrity will be determined by the level of your ability to live a decent life on your own. In Africa, you just leave a chair briefly like this, the phone is gone. The person never came with the purpose of stealing, but then he just said, it's a chance to steal, why don't I steal? This phone, I might sell it to pay for my fuel. You never came with a purpose to steal. Your finances are not adding up. You have seen a phone. You want to take it. I want to state another thing in here that I thought came through in the course of our conversation this evening. And it relates to what I've just shared. Cash. Cash is not wealth. Whether they give you 500 million, a billion, 2 billion, a trillion, it is not wealth. You ask a question, what then is cash? Wealth. Good question. Wealth is cash that keeps coming to you non-stop from happy customers. Wealth is cash that says, I know there is another person who does what Don is doing, but I'm going to keep this money because it has to be taken by Don. I want it to go to Don because I'm happy with what Don is doing. I postpone my session because Don is not available. The money is going non-stop to Don because I'm happy for what I'm getting. Let me just illustrate that statement with who you are. Human beings by construction are self-serving. You want to buy something or get something that rewards you. You are not going to be buying things because Don has said his rent is in arrears. Don, I think, let me hire you. You say that your rent is not, your landlord is about to throw you out. You just come and do anything. You just come around. No way. Vivian knew she's going to Serena. I'm not going to look for anybody until I get Don. When I get him, I will do whatever it takes to get him on board. Human beings, by nature, by construction, want value for money. Give it to them, the tribe will disappear. The gender will disappear. The age will disappear. The quality of the English will not matter. I wanted somebody from Centenary Bank, like my brother Ronald, to be here, and he has done the job. Give me a Ronald. Give me a Ronald. If you saw how Ronald was speaking here, you just love the man. You want him. You want him. You want him. Even if you had a brother called Omoding, I'm from Teso, I would have looked for Moding. I would leave out on Omoding. I look for that man. Because I saw him do what he did. Value for money. Value for money. May I complete my statement about cash with this other statement to tie it off and complete it? It goes like this. If each time you get cash, you are mostly a customer instead of a creator of customers, forget wealth. The statement is finished. You got the cash, you rushed to the shopping mall. You got the cash, you went to the saloon. You could have delayed that hair for another week, but because the cash has come, I'm going to the salon. Woo-hoo. Woo! It is personal investment, but in a sustainable manner. You went to the saloon for a while and you disappeared. Why are you not investing in yourself? Oh, now I have no customers. Useless. The book I read says, the moment you are unable to grow what you have, it uses two words to describe you. The one who never made one talent to become two. Do you know the words they used? He said, you are worthless, and then the second word is, you are wicked. You put such words in a book of God. For you, for having failed to multiply what you have. If you are different from that, you had better write your own book. And just say the writer of that book was the one who was wicked. I have my own book. And do you know how they conclude that story of the talents? Those who fail to multiply what they have, even the little will be taken away. Here's the illustration. You worked with USAID, you got a great job. You made some bit of money, but you are not multiplying or building the assets that you are trying to work on. Even the land that now that person has, today they are going to sell it. That is how it is taken away. There will be no robbery. You, the owner of the asset, who did not develop the asset, will look for buyers every day saying, come and take my land. You wake up in the morning, the phone is ringing for who? A buyer to take away the land. Then you go to every broker. Have you tried? What are customers saying? The land must go. You fail to multiply it, you fail to develop it, you fail to make it bring more money, please give it away. Those principles never change even if we go to AI, even if we go to Google and Google too many things, even if you have the highest following in WhatsApp, those principles don't change. Talk with the followers, but just remember, what am I doing with my resources? Otherwise, you are losing sleep responding to the followers. The next day, you'll be waking up and selling the land. And the followers are not being informed. Oh my God. The logic is so plain but so difficult to follow. I thought I needed to give another statement somewhere. Then another statement that I thought I needed to share here is, let's talk about borrowing, going to the bank and getting money. There are two things I want to talk about it. One thing about your borrowing or access to money, whatever terms and conditions that you get, they are a reflection of who you are. Not the bank, not the lender. Go and work on yourself. Those terms are not genetic. Today we are telling you we will not lend you more than 2 million. Your neighbor who is junior to you in terms of degrees and whatever is borrowing $1 billion. Work on yourself to merit the $1 billion. The terms and conditions you are getting are not genetic. The homework to change those terms and conditions lies with the borrower. Not Ronald. Where's Ronald? Ronald, you are innocent. You know they misunderstand the word OPM. Need to become rich using other people's money. OPM. Sometimes I tell you that acronym could mean something different. OPM. Option for either prosperity or misery. Ask yourself as you borrow, will you be into the bracket of prosperity, because it can happen if you have borrowed well. If you have borrowed just because you are dying for liquidity, you have just dug a deeper pit for you. No sleep. If there be one thing you can never cheat, is a body system that is constructed to have at least 8 hours a day to sleep. The moment it's not having that, it's fighting itself. You must go. You must go. You know, the beauty about the brain is you can never overprogram it. It has what we call certain minimum logic to interpret your behavior. To tell you, this loan here, you made a mistake. You are useless. Even you never read the terms and conditions, did you? That is your brain telling you. And it's yours, and it's telling you the message. There is a minimum you can deceive that brain, then it will tell you, enough is enough, you fool, shape up. Did you know, and Ronald will tell you, did you know that the terms and conditions that are written for the loan taker are read by 3 different people in a bank? The person being given the terms and conditions never reads even a sentence. How stupid can you go? In the bank, there was an officer who did the assessment. He read those terms and conditions to make sure that they are complete. There's a supervisor who reconfirmed that those terms and conditions are complete. Then there's now external lawyer who is independent and says, these terms and conditions are complete. Then they give now the borrower, please, Mr. Borrower, this, you are now qualifying to take the loan. This is the agreement. You read and confirm you accept. Do you know what the fool does? He asks 3 stupid questions. 1, before I read this document, I wanted 10 million. How much have you approved? No, we looked at your papers and we felt 10 was on the high side. We gave you 6. No, that was bad. But anyway, it's okay. Let me just take 6 million. That's the time to go back and revisit your document. Tell the banker that, please, my money, I needed 10. If I don't take 10, I need to go back and review my project funding approach. Give me 2 days. If you ever get to Uganda and do that, Ronald will tell you, they never. After they have seen it is 6 million of 10, they go for the next question. Where do I sign? There is no room for reading. I've been chasing this loan for 6 months. There is no room for what? Reading. Now, what the bankers have done to make sure that every important page for signing is not omitted, they flag it with a yellow sticker. This part here, you sign this part. So what he does, he just goes for where there's a yellow sticker. Go there, sign. Another part is sign. The next thing is, the last question is, when can the money be in my account? I need it today. The full story is sealed. He has not read. He has not configured to make sure that this loan fits exactly what he wants. You are finished. But remember what I said earlier on? The terms and the conditions that are in that document, they reflect you. And just on that message alone, if you are in this room here and you have deteriorated in terms of who gives you banking solutions, you've deteriorated from Centenary Bank to now a mobile money password. You used to go to Centenary Bank and borrow 32 million. You did it twice. By the second time, it was hard for you to pay. We struggled with you until we chased you out. Then you deteriorate until you go to now mobile money, where the mobile money person will just say, first of all, we can risk on you just for 2 million. But even on this 2 million, there's a way we must make sure that we can quickly get our money back. If you have deteriorated from a certain quality of banking services and loan services, and you are now going downwards, reform, repent. Go and kneel and seek for a redemption early. You are entering a ditch. In fact, I would urge you to stop borrowing at all. And I can even add that by saying this. Many of you, if you have been in business, do you know that we borrow through suppliers who give us supplies, items to use? We promise to pay them. We get the cash. We never pay them. you take that rubbish to a bank, you will not survive it. You will not survive it. There was something about marketing. Social media is great. Digital is brilliant. May I say this? Ultimately, the number one source of your marketing and the undisputed source of your marketing is the happy and satisfied customer. If you ignore talking to people who are bought from you and you keep on looking for new ones, but the ones that come through social media come by once and disappear, you have a problem to fix. You are like a mushroom. You'll rot away very quickly. A mushroom is fresh from morning. By afternoon, the worms are coming for it if it's not harvested. You got customers. They are not coming back. You fool. Why? What are you doing to chase and check on the customer who bought yesterday? Let me be in social media. There is a communication coming through from a person who's not coming back. And you are not interested. Social media, I need to put more of this, I need to add more of this. It is correct. The person has come through, no repeat business. Oh my God. Oh my God. And some of you even know the person who consumed yesterday, and the person has left, and you are not bothered. You are saying, put more message out there, put more message out there. Do you know what? Life is supposed to be a fulfilling experience because you are adding value to somebody. And how's that confirmed? A person who came yesterday is coming back, and when they are coming back, they are not even bothered about the price again. They are simply saying, just give me these items. They are very good. A happy customer will do three to four things. If they are not doing this, and you're on social media thinking you are going to be doing marketing, you are going to exhaust yourself. Number one, they will come again without you chasing for them because the experience was fulfilling. Remember what I told you? Human beings are constructed to search for value for money. If they see it, and you're the one who had the restaurant, they leave their sister, they leave their brother with the restaurant, they come to you. They have customers, they have visitors whom they want to please. They don't take to a relative. They take to a Mandela whom they don't know even his tribe. Is he Ethiopian? Is he Eritrean? They don't know, and they are not interested to know. They are simply saying, Cafe Javas is the place. Let's hurry. Let's be there on time. A happy customer will come again. Are your customers coming? If they are not coming and you are not doing anything, go back to the statement which said, lazy, stupid, oversleeping, folding hands. And later, a poverty will be sent to you that will attack you like an armed robber. Too stupid, too lazy, too oversleeping. Talking to a customer until he comes back is not a big deal. That's number one about a happy customer. But number two, they do the next beautiful thing. They refer you. Ocici, do you know the other person who has the best ACs in town? There are many ACs, but that particular fellow is the one to go to. Do you know what I do now? I will go to a place of ACs, but I'm only looking for that one particular destiny to which I have been referred. Why? The person who has referred me there is doing it because he loves me. Selfish. They are not doing the referral so that even the young youth can also get something, so that people without legs can also get something. You know, when you are going to buy, you look for people without legs, they are the other side. No, they are simply saying, you want good ACs, the other side. The referral is selfish. Value for money. And you know what? A referred person does not over-negotiate. The deal is sealed almost immediately. I'm trying to put your minds to what it means to get into the position of expanding your salary. Going there means sweat. For the person to come to you and his expectations have been fulfilled, you sweated. Now, after you have sweated, now the people are sweating on your behalf by referring customers to you at their cost. What better strategy can beat that? I have a hotel in Bugolobi. Everyone who has been there, it is just now 9 months. And don't please visit so that you can tell Wallace that you visited the daddy's hotel. It is in Bugolobi Post Kiswa Primary School. It's called the Grandville. On the Grandville, the school is on one side, and on the other post side is the Grandville Hotel. Yes. Yeah. It's a very, 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 even if it is me saying it, it's a hotel that matches what I want to be happening to a facility. But what I wanted to say is this. You get, right now I've got 2 Israelis who are in the hotel. They are coming in the 5th time. We opened in September. This is now July. They have come 5 times. And the 5th time is coming with his family. Israelis have got their own people in here. They could associate with them. They are saying, no, go back to the other side. We have got Kenyans who have come with so many Kenyan facilities in the city. They are saying, no, the other side is the place to go to. We have had Canadians who have come. They are coming back and they are saying, the other place is the place to go to. Referrals is number 2. If you are selling a solution for which you do not overbreak your back over convincing people on social media. Social media must be backed by solid principles of business acumen. Point number 3, if you are doing a good job in terms of your marketing, not only will you get repeat business, referrals, the customer will offer you business solutions, business modifications that are meant to make you serve them better. That is better than any research you can ever do. You know, if you could also put us here, you know, there's this Colgate from Uganda, put it there. Why? Maybe that customer who came to the hotel said, but what's the other side? There's a certain Colgate. Then this one says, I don't want to shift to Serena because of just that. Let me give that message to Ocici so that I remain with Ocici. That thing's a small thing, but Ocici can sort it out. There's no better research and modifications that can come other than from a consumer of what you sell. So please, I'm not telling you not to be on digital. It is easy to get away from real hard work and then imagine this technology is bringing customers. If these 3 things are not happening, go back to the drawing board. The battle is up. The battle is up, and very strong one. Very, very strong one. The other point that I want to underscore for some of us here who are in 2 jobs that I feel came up from here by just looking at your kind of age bracket is that from today, I want you to shift your concept about work along the following areas. If you have a job and the following things are not happening in your life, reform quickly and begin to make them become part of your story. Because once these things begin to become part of your story, you are going to enjoy careers. But as you are enjoying careers, you will also be investing the percentage I've just mentioned of your money as you enjoy your daytime job as a doctor, a lawyer, or whoever. When I say change your concept about work, what do I mean by this? Never, number 1, have a mindset of protecting a job. Job protectors have 1 contract, 1 employer, 1 salary. If that is you, I can forgive you for 2 years. 1 employer. For 2 years, I forgive you. After that, I will be asking You're an accountant. What do you do after 5 o'clock? There is a neighbor within Bugolobi market where you go and buy your things. Can you tell them about accounting? They're having issues with the URA. Can you do something with them? You learned what to do with accounts in the daytime job. At 5 o'clock, beyond the office hours, what are you using your time for? 2, how about Saturday? Oh, I have no time. You know I'm very busy. Do you know a man called Chrysostom Muyingo? Did you know that he started a school when he was a deputed master? And as he was doing that, he was also studying for his PhD. He pushes Namugongo from a school admitting 2nd grade to a school later admitting average 1st grade, to today where he matches my school, SMAC. SMAC and Namugongo today are like this very tight competition. And who did that? A Muyingo. As he was doing that, he was also having students learning, being coached in his sitting room. And let me tell you, it's the tiniest sitting room of a poor teacher. 9 students were being coached. He had no school where they could register for exams. After the coaching, they register in different schools. When the results come out, he says, this is the performance of my 9. Please, if you have a child, bring the child. This is what I've managed to do with very average students. The next year, it was 31 learners. They couldn't fit in the sitting room. He hired a simple accommodation in a swampy place in Seta. 3 years later, the schools, the numbers reached 300. Do you know? The landlord chases away all the other occupants of that place and gives the entire place to Muyingo as a renting person. Later, when he registered the school, the landlord said, sir, you're a very good man. I want to sell this place to you. Do you know what the story of the talents is saying there? To he who has managed to grow what he had, more shall be what? Added. The landlord is simply calling this man and saying, please take the land. Take the land. Why? You have built a school for which you have capability to take this land. As they say, today, the rest is history. 4 campuses, 7,500 learners every year. Average school fees per term, 2 million. Multiply 2 by 7,500, 15 billion per term. Then you can remove expenses. Easily, he has 5 billion left per term. Divide, I come? And then he's trying to move into a university. What am I driving here? I'm driving at a person who saw a job, not just as something for a salary, but he simply said, what do I learn from this job which I can begin to practice and continue to build a career out of it? Many of you are going to struggle and hate your employers because you are focusing on the check at the end of the month. Focus on moving from being a job protector to now what I call number 2, a career protector. A career protector is that individual who has perfected delivering quality to the extent that you don't need to monitor them. You don't need to supervise them. If you are seated in this room here and you need to be reminded about what you are supposed to be doing daily, you don't belong in the job market. You are supposed to be in a class by this time. You are supposed to be doing this kind of quarterly test. Those ones are a minimum. Do them without being reminded. A career protector does whatever he has been told plus more. 2, he gives more suggestions on how to improve the play field. 3, he now becomes attractive to other people also who will say, you know what, when you are free on Saturday, come and give a lecture for my children on this subject of chemistry. Now the salary is not 1, they are 2. The account may be 1, but now the salary is not, and then the account is no longer having 1 entry. Now there are 2 or 3 or 4. This fellow is doing that while enjoying his life. You might be saying, but isn't that now the way I can live it? No. You don't leave it there. You move from somebody who has mastered the profession and is beginning to improve the profession to somebody who is now a person of a calling. A person of a calling now is no longer just trying to influence how that profession is done in his current employment area. He is now looking at it at a national level and is beginning to say, can we form an association? Can we make that teachers are rewarded? Can we now build the teachers until teachers, you are building the profession? A man of a calling no longer focus so much about my current employer. That's when I saw Vivian. When I listened to your story, I just said, this young girl wants to succeed. How can I be of help? She's going into a very tough calling, but I want her to succeed. And I want her to succeed. I want you to succeed, Vivian. Enterprise Uganda has been in the game now for 25 years. We are marking 25 years next year. We are marking 25 years with a center of excellence. That is the biggest in Uganda and it's going to be the biggest in Africa. We're shifting there next week. In Butabika, whoever is coming from Butabika right now, the biggest property in the entire area of Butabika is one of Enterprise Uganda. It's like a building of parliament. That's big. The parking space alone, 350 cars underground. When you have a calling, it is no longer about just Enterprise Uganda. It's about Kenya. It's about Senegal. It's about Ghana. I want Ghanaians to come and learn from what we have done in Uganda. I'm calling for people from Zambia, from Zimbabwe, to come and see what we have been able to do in Uganda, to build entrepreneurs. Like the one you are seeing in the billboards. You've been seeing the story of Kandesa building. Who has seen that building, the tallest in the city? It will be the tallest in the city residential property. That client is a client of Enterprise Uganda, Jane Baine. She came to us 18 years ago. She has remained with us. She started a salon. She moved on. Today, she's putting up the best building in the city. Nina Interiors, now a third-generation business. You go to Makindye, outstanding showroom. But they have just teamed up with the best furniture manufacturing firm in China. And probably number 2 in the world, called Sunon. So by the time Ocici is saying it's no longer about Enterprise Uganda, it's no longer about Uganda, it's about myself, leaving myself with footprints across the dark continent. That's a calling. That's a calling. But I don't want to leave it there. There's one more step you must do, which Mulwana did. Mulwana did all these different stages. Mulwana started as a driver of the Kalema family. Kalema was a minister in the Kabaka's government. But as he was doing that, his salary was doing a battery repairing and garage. Then he went into big things. By the time the poor fellow was dying, he had been the first chairman of the East African Business Council. Chairman BAT, Chairman Airtel, Chairman EADB, Chairman Enterprise Uganda, Chairman Line Brewers, everywhere Chairman. Never stepped in senior one. I hope you heard me. You have a right, and you can do it, to make yourself live a life from a person with a basic job at entry to a person with a career, to a person with a calling, and then the last part of it is leave a legacy. When you leave a legacy, a life of a legacy, now what does that mean? What is different from that from a person of a calling? Because when you are at the stage of a calling, you are building others and you are building the profession. You are still within the profession. When you reach the point of a legacy, forget the profession. I'm an accountant, I am an auditor. Forget all those things. We now want you to be chairman of SMAC. I've already been there before I I don't know whether I was chairman of SMAC when I was on the board. Yes, I was on your board already. Yeah. I remember I was on your board when I was, that young man was at SMAC. I was already on the board of St. Mary's College, Kisubi. But I'm not a teacher. You must begin to be wanted to deliver your influence, your contribution beyond your profession. That's a man of a legacy. Airtel, Mulwana never knew anything to do with the telecommunication. Mulwana hesitated to own a telephone handset for a full year until he just said, very important people are saying they were trying to reach me, they couldn't reach me. Let me just get this phone. He didn't want it, but he was already chairman of Airtel, but without owning a what? A mobile phone. He said, I will be adding value to the thing without necessarily owning a handset. Chairman of Mengo Hospital, he was not a doctor. Legacy. As you flow through that kind of layering, do you know one thing that will be flowing in your blood? Fulfillment. Feeling you deserve to have been born now. There was no era for you to have been born now. Everywhere you move, you are overwanted. But you can't multiply yourself. My sister, the way you put the question across, I just loved it when you said, when I looked at the LinkedIn there, it seems that people are deceiving. I just felt that, oh my God. When people are in that public platform, they dress well. In other words, you package yourself to fit the platform. But what I'm telling you here is what will make you fit in that platform, and whether or not they follow you, you are not bothered. Whether or not they follow you, you are not bothered. You have enough engagement. Friends, I felt I needed to do justice to what I had prepared here and just say a few things about the flow of financial independence. And if this flow is part of you, please, you thank yourself. If it's not, work on it yourself. First, I want to say by saying this animal called financial independence has defeated very many. Why? And I need to make that one clear to you. Why has financial literacy or financial mastery been such a big challenge? One statement I want you to take is this one. Money is a shortcut to what humanity wants most: recognition. You might sit here saying, oh, Gigi, I don't want recognition. You are putting on that hair and you wish somebody could say it is a nice style. You are putting on those shoes. You wish somebody could say, but mommy, these shoes are the best for you. That day you walk like you're on air. We were made by somebody who said, whether you want it or not, you love to be recognized. And that conversation was confirmed when God had a midnight conversation with Solomon. Ask Solomon, ask of me anything, and I'll give it to you. Solomon said, yes, I'm asking for something. What is it? Wisdom. Do you know what God said? He said, you have just asked for a very wonderful thing. Because you have asked for this powerful thing here, I'm going to give you the other things that I know a human being wants. He listed them in the book of 1 Kings. I think from chapter 3, from verse 15, somewhere there. He said, humanity wants first of all, recognition. I will give you because now you have wisdom to contain recognition. Number 2, the human being I've made loves wealth. Because you love wealth and you have wisdom, I'll give it to you. Because if you love wealth without wisdom, you're in trouble. Trouble and dangerous. Number 4, he said, so there is the wealth, there is recognition, there is long life. Then he said, I will also make sure that I'll deal with those people who want to hate you. I'll take care of your enemies. Humanity loves recognition. Cash is a shortcut to that love. You pick cash like this, you want the things that will make people say, you have the best bags. What do you do the next week? You are buying another one, then another one, then another one. So that nobody will be saying, I saw that bag last week. No, every week should be something new. You don't want somebody who will say, yeah, that's the new bag. I saw it last week. That one has watered down the message. So what do? You go back to the mall, pick a few more. You just say, can't we be more logical than this? Can't we be more logical than this? Cash is a shortcut to what humanity hungers for, recognition. But it is a destroyer of what humanity should be looking for, wisdom. What a bad animal called money. Each time you carry that note, each time you receive that money, remember that statement and just tell yourself, please, remain sober. Recognition goes with buying. Buying. Ho, ho. Now, allow Ocici to conclude by talking of 7 things to drive you into a taproot of financial literacy and financial strength. The 7 things are here. It's not about the salary, because I've just told you people who got salaries, in a very short time they're in trouble. Here are the 7 things you must begin to work on starting now. Number 1, earnings. And when I talk about earnings, never ever remain with one figure. If you have been on a one figure, reform quickly and let the figure begin to change. In other words, if you're already a business person and you're comfortable with 20 plates per day, stupid, move. If you have been a salary person and you have been used to one entry per month, stupid, move. He said, I went around a garden of a lazy, stupid man. I found it overgrown with weeds and thorns. And when I looked at it, I said, stupidity, laziness, oversleeping, and folding hands, I send you what? Poverty, you fool. He says, you are foolish. You are foolish. The earnings is number 1, and it does not matter where you begin, the amount, it doesn't matter. The main thing is the other thing I just told about a customer. Are those 3 things or 4 happening on you? The person yesterday who took porridge. You started with the business of porridge. Are they coming back? If they are coming back, do they have a relative? Are they telling somebody else? Are you buying more plates to make the business grow? Earnings is number 1. Didn't Muingo start with poor parents who could not afford Namugongo, the 9 parents? Today, isn't he having the richest parents? What a contradiction. Within his lifetime, he has reversed the story. Earnings is number 1. But earnings only matter when I start seeing the figure changing, but upwards. Number 2. Agreed you have been making earnings, but are you doing the next thing, which is discipline and denying yourself early gratification, savings? You made a profit, 50%, and I mean 50% of the profit. First and foremost, you must see this is the cost, this is the profit. It is on the profit where 50% must go back to that business. Last week on Saturday, I was addressing people who are in charge of hardware businesses. And I told them the rate at which we are failing in this city or in this country is just so painful. And I gave them an example of the story that came up on Saturday, where Emin Pasha owner is being told to hand over the hotel. He's being told to hand over the hotel. That hotel had served a good job for no less than 20 years. But along the way, he mishandled some of the things I'm talking about here. And that hotel is up for sale. Plus, the one is building at the lakeside. That place was receiving only white men as patrons. But let's talk about it. Savings. Savings means that you earn the profit, you looked at the profit, and then you said, okay, a part of this must come to improve my hotel. That hotel went on an expansion project. They couldn't continue with the expansion. The building is remaining without customers on that expansion side. The other side is being affected because now you can't even pay the workers. But what I'm talking about here is make your earnings, make the saving, put part of the profit back into the business. If there is no organic growth in your business, my friend, and you rush to my brother Ronald, you are causing Ronald a lot of problems. He looks at your account, you deserve to take money, but he doesn't know how you are behaving. He wants, but I like Ronald the way you said it here, that please, we will never give a beginner, a dreamer, money. And we will say it in the open. Not at midnight, not anywhere, in the open. We will not give a dreamer money. Ronald, you're a good man. Very good man. But please continue to work with Vivian. Vivian needs your hand. I hope you will confirm it, please. Please, thank you. So saving is the next thing. Anybody in a business and you have never learned to put back money into an enterprise that is generating income, forget wealth. I will say it plainly and clearly. Organic growth is the measure to which we shall be able to start coming to you. Number three, now that you are reinvesting, you are saving, what you saved, where did you invest it in? Save the resources. If they are not put into the same business or into some account somewhere, that money will not earn you income or returns. Whatever you save, immediately invest it. Invest it. Invest it. Number 4, and that's where now I catch some of the people like the USAID people. Number 4 is where they fail. Number 4, you have done earnings, you have done a bit of saving, you have even invested in one house, a residential, a rental. When a Ugandan builds one rental, he stops thinking that's the end of the world. I have a rental. I have built my home. I even have a rental. That was 3 years ago. That was 4 years ago. You fool, where have you been putting the money? From your salary today, from the rental income. Make a Ugandan to finish a house. And then he builds a rental. He stops there. Number 4 says, whatever you have invested in, when you get the profit from there, invest. This hill where we're seated here, I'm sorry I'm taking a bit of time. But I just feel like you are too young not to get this message. This is the right time to get it and go and be spoiled and be called the names. I have no problem. Here's what happened on this hill. A certain family called the Mwesigwas lost their father. But by the time the dad died, they had 12 apartments on Nakasero Hill. 12. All of them occupied by diplomats. Then in the neighborhood were another 12 apartments which were not finished for a long time. Because they were getting all the income from the apartments, because each child was given their own apartments, they enjoyed the income. But over time, the apartments needed what? Modernization and renovation. They go to the bank. The banker said, this asset here, compared to the money you want? No. You get the money, modernize these things. That's good. But you can also now finish the other 12. Let us put all those together and you make a great investment. These fellows were not saving any money at all for the many years they were enjoying the 12 apartments. Now they get a loan and continue in the same pattern of behavior. When God says, you are stupid and lazy, He doesn't mean you don't have a degree. You have a degree. But your stupidity is on the basic things of life. Basic. You go and get a loan. You have been used to getting all this rent and consuming it. Now, you have a loan which says, this is the repayment schedule. These other units also here are joining the market at their own pace. But this is the repayment schedule. You continue to eat this money. The other units are struggling to cover the entire lot here. They couldn't make it. Poor family. the assets were put up for sale. The reinvestment principle was weak. They were at a point where they were at a takeoff. They said, we have done everything, let's enjoy. I warn you, you are surrounded by poor people. Because you are surrounded by poor people, one rental like this, one home like this, you look very rich. You are the reference of the community. You are the auntie, but you are very young. They call you auntie. Reinvesting is number 4. Is it 4 or number 3? Number 4. Earnings, savings, investing, reinvesting. In other words, Ocici has started a hotel. Virtually every shilling from that hotel must go into expansion. If I start telling my 4 children that, I've taken care of all your needs, come and enjoy. That hotel in another 5 years will need an overhaul. You need 6 billion. You pick the land title, take it to the bank, that's the end of the hotel. It's gone. It's gone. Where else can we go from here? The number 5 is what you love, spending. Spending. I'm talking about financial skills. You have to enjoy some things of life. And that's why number 5 comes with spending. But the spending is coming from where? A portion of a profit. Get me right. A portion of a profit. When I was with the hardware people, I gave an example which was going like this. In hardware, there's what they call undercoat. An average price for undercoat is 60,000. In the 60,000, the hardware's money is 3,000. Then I told them that if you sold 100 jerry cans at 60, it's 6 million. But in the 6 million, yours is 3,000 times 100. That's 300,000. You are holding in your pocket 6 million shillings. The real money that is yours is how much? 300,000. Somebody is coming asking for school fees. You feel ridiculous not to. He says, my school fees is 1.1 million, and you're having 6 million in the pocket. You feel you are the savior of the world. You want to give 1 million plus a bit of pocket money. You have just given away saddling money. That's money of saddling. Purchases must come from a portion of a net profit. What is a net profit? It is the 300. But on the 300, it's not net profit yet because there's salary, there's power, there's security. Maybe your actual money on the 300 is 120. That is the money now where you can talk about the fish. You can now talk about the hairstyle. It is all within the what? The 120, not the 6 million. Do you see that mindset shift? Do you see how basic some of the errors we make are? Then you blame the bankers. They want to sell him asset. These bankers are always like that. Yeah, then the entire country says it is correct. This. That's why the money lender, and I never will blame a money lender. A money lender says, you have been rejected in all the other financial vehicles. Finally, you want to come to die in my hands. I will deal with you accordingly. By the time you are dealing with somebody whom the banks used to have and now they have rejected, he goes to microfinance, they have rejected. He goes to the family members, they have rejected. Then finally he's coming to die in your hands. The money lender simply says, by the time you come here with your head which is working, which knows there's Centenary Bank, there's this and that, and you have come to me at my rates, I must deal with you properly. A money lender is there to give a solution that fits the character of the take of the money. And the solution must match the character. You are not wanted everywhere until you reach my place. And I don't want to know whether you're a Christian, whether you're minister, whether you used to be MP. All I'm telling you is sign here and also sign land transfer forms. Are you aware that you are signing land transfer forms? Yes. Why do you blame me? You should have gone to the bank with your land. Why didn't you go there? Your head was working. Let the money lenders cover the space of the fools who fit there. The market is open. There's no forcing. So purchasing is okay. Which component of the money did the money come from? Which component of the money? Which one? Did you know that even the poor people are having luxury? You sold 3 cokes. You got a profit from the 3 cokes of 40 million. Of the 40 million, you are only free to use 20,000. The other money should bring back the equivalent of the 3 cokes plus an investment of 20,000. But here you are. You get all the money from the cokes. You eat it all. That's luxury. Never, ever define luxury in terms of what you are seeing. Define luxury from the point of view, where did the money that was used to buy come from? Villagers in their situation are also living a luxurious life. What a life! That word luxury, please redefine it. What are you wearing? What are you having? What are you eating? Where is the resource coming from? If it's coming not from a component of a profit, repent. Repent. Because there will come a time you will see fish at the other corner, and the fishmonger knows you by name, and he has put your fish aside. You leave him with the fish aside, and you go to where the beans are. On your own. On your own. Because now you are looking at the proteins rather than fish. You will leave rice and go for cassava, and you are looking for what? Carbohydrates. Rice and cassava give what? Carbohydrates. And indeed, you'll wake up with strength. But the taste is different. The taste is different, but you will be alive. But that's the beauty about this life. Whatever I'm telling you here, do you know that the way God has created solutions to look after everybody's needs to be alive and be comfortable come in a range? I wish you could put that sentence down. That the solutions you need in life to live a normal life, they come in a range. At any one time, fit yourself in that range where your resources can afford. Then I will explain. What are the solutions I'm talking about here? I'm talking about nursery school. There's a nursery school for 200,000. There's one for 500,000. There's one for 2 million. Which one do you go for? Go for the one that will just take a portion of your profit. It is 200 today. But so long as you keep on reinvesting, by the time the children are in P1, you have moved away from a P1 school of 200 to a P1 school of 400, because now your income can take you there. By the time you are taking your child to secondary school, you have moved away from a secondary school of 400 to a school of 800, because you kept on reinvesting. Solutions to life come in a range. Consume them in tandem with your financial strength. How I wish you could remember just that one sentence and go home. You are here trying to consume a certain thing because the neighbor is doing it. The next day, the neighbor is hitting a wall, and you don't know even how they did it, and you can no longer interpret, but you have ended up in the same direction. Let me continue. So I've just talked up to number 5, which is spending. Number 6 is budgeting. Budgeting comes to bring the entire picture into what you call a neat, tight picture. The day MTN, you go to MTN and you want to be giving to a donation of this and that, they say, Ocici, you have come late. For this year, our budget for CSR is all fully allocated. Let's do it next year. And who is MTN? This is a company that makes a profit of 400 billion a year. They have a budget line. You are here, a normal person who has not even touched $1 billion. Your budgeting, your spending is limitless. How will you see tomorrow? You check with me tomorrow. Tell the fellow that as of now, I have no money. Let's see what to do. The answer is a no. plain and clear. You go home with safety. The moment you just say, let me see, you call me tomorrow. That's a yes. We will pursue you. That's a yes. We are going to pursue you. Why don't you start from a point of saying, no, I don't think I have that money. Let me check, but I don't think I have it. Already you know what I've just said. Do you know one way of measuring your level of maturity is how frequently you can say no with your head up as compared to how often you want to appear nice and say yes. Very immature, very raw for the planet. But now you are 33, you are 38, but very raw. Oh, you know, this is a friend of mine, I could not say no. Let me tell you, the moment we see that you are loose with your resources, we pick the money and immediately tell my relative also, you know, our sister helped me. She paid for me the school fees. You're about to sell the cow. You don't sell that cow. You call her. Just call her. She's helpful. Me, I'm going to pray for her. As you, they give the money for, thank you, may God bless you. We shall pray for you. Then you walk away feeling you're in charge of the globe. You are not. You are not. You are not. So I just wanted to say the word budgeting, we fulfill this word with all the rigor and commitment when you have a job of an entity called Enterprise Uganda. The moment you have your own enterprise, you now loosely use money left and right. Start budgeting immediately. And if you're a salary person, I would say this. Starting this next salary, 50% of the money, use it for your overheads. Load everything you have in 50% of the salary. 30%, save it to start an investment. 10%, put it to your God and your community. And then 10%, emergency. Budgeting is fundamental. If you do that and the business now where you have been investing begins to bring in money and you want to pick money from that business, again, go back to the profit the business is making. Take only 50%. The rest, put it back into the business. You love this planet. You love this world because, one, your body is collected. Two, you fulfill all the basics of life. You can sleep. And the brain is thinking in a manner that says you need to continue enjoying what you're having. That is number 6. I finally close with number 7. Then I let you go. Number 7 is debt management. Debt management. Loans. You ask yourself, I'm taking this loan. Is it for basics of life or to improve my business? If it is because of this one entry in the bank account, and then the expenses are higher than that one entry, then you are bringing the bank to top up to keep looking after the so-called school fees and what have you, you are overheating the engine. The car will knock. The car will knock. But who did it? The owner of the car. How can one be that useless and stupid? You are seeing the thing is overheating and the indicator is there. It is red. And the fellow is saying, please take the money. Take the money. They are saying, we will give it to you within 24 hours. They call it salary loan. The banker will not necessarily ask what you are going to do with it. And you are not going to blame them. Salary loans have caused people havoc. Havoc. Not because of the banker, because of the taker. Where did you put the salary loan? It should have been to improve the next monthly inflows. Instead, it is to continue expanding your expense portfolio. Woo! And you are called James. You are called Ismail. You are here walking and you are an adult. An example to the young ones. I feel like looking for a rope and saying, put a rope around that neck and we just hang this one so that you don't give a wrong example. Let's start afresh. That's why sometimes God allows the parents to go with heart attacks, with whatever, because let the kids rather be orphans, and they pick it from there. These fellows were giving a wrong example. Debt management. What was the purpose of the money? That's the starting point. That is the starting point. Number two, do you know how to run that purpose? It's one thing to qualify for money. Do you know how to run that business? And there's a concept I leave with you, the concept of key success factors. To learn how to run a hotel, you must go and look at another hotel which already exists and see what they have done and see what it takes to bring customers. Key success factors, you learn by looking at somebody who has been in that space. You learn by looking at top employees who are in that space. Did you know that as we were opening the Granville, I talked to senior chefs from different hotels, which I will not mention, and they happily gave me the help. I'm not a hotelier, but these fellows will tell you everything about that. Key success factors can be found. Did you know that there are suppliers to the type of a business that you're about to get into who are supplying so many people similar to what you're about to do? And those suppliers have learned secrets on how some of the suppliers they are supplying are doing better and others are struggling. Talk to such suppliers. You'll get the secrets there. They are experts within that industry. Talk to them. I've made my point clear. Borrowing should make you better than it found you before you touched bank money. If it robs you of sleep, if it robs you of the assets you had before you went to the bank, you went there when you were really a misfit, and you should have withdrawn long ago. So loans are meant to leave you better than they found you, not to make you lose sleep, not to make you lose what you had before. If those other negatives come through, go back to the drawing line. Do not, and I repeat, blame the lender. Whether it is a SACCO, development finance like UDB, you know, UDB lent to a certain man who is into the entertainment industry, who was having a hotel in Kampala and Kisoro, and then it hit a rock. Let me say it again. Never blame the lender. Blame yourself. I close there and say this. Enterprise Uganda, the institution I've been leading, has been here now for 24 years. And next year, we mark 25 years. And we are marking that by opening Uganda's #1 Center of Excellence, and it will be Africa's Center of Excellence at Butabika. Parking facilities, 350. Training halls, numerous. Be part of the story. But above all, support that young lady. She means well. And Vivian, thank you for your courage. I remember even asking you about the venue, and I said, what a spirit, what a soul. But I know this thing must have eaten your heart and eaten your soul as you said, will they come, will they come, will they come? They are here. Well done again, and congratulations. So, thank you very much. All the best. My name is Charles Ocici, and my telephone number is 0772 699 808. I do morning clinics in this city. Who was the man that I was with? It was there. Yes, Moses. I give morning clinics. You ring me, then I give you an appointment. If I say 77, because Monday to Friday I allocate my time. But those morning clinics, before you come to me, you must tell me where we interacted, then I can connect with you. But Financial literacy, it defeats adults. One thing, it is because you must remain a learner. And you must remain humble. Because the only thing that makes you to be in that space is a person called customer. Customers don't buy because you were once a rich man. You were once a minister. They buy because they want value for money. Every day they are comparing you with somebody else. That's why financial literacy is not getting used. You won the race for 10 years, you are number one. The next 10 years, we are burying you. And when we are burying you, first bury the business. And then we leave you without a business. And then we tell you, do you know that house? Do you know the house called Lotus used to belong to a Ugandan? Today it belongs to Aries. Lotus Towers is no longer Lotus Towers, now called Aries. It is here in Nakasero here. Our brother Sudir picked it. It had been owned by somebody else for 14 years. And he had diplomats and embassies and banks renting it. He lost the game. The story moved on. Financial literacy, there is no getting used. You remain in the class today, tomorrow, until we take you home. Good luck, and thank you again, and thank you for coming.